Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're the Garza twins. I'm Carly.
And I'm Britta.
And please subscribe if you like this video. We upload quite frequently. We do Get Ready With Us, 5 Weekly Favorites, which is more lifestyle. We review products. We talk about lots of different things.
Yeah.
Today we are doing a video inspired by our friend Dev's Day here on YouTube and Instagram. And she did a video all about beauty products that she doesn't buy anymore and then explained the reasoning behind that. She said she was also going to do like a lifestyle one, which I think would be fun too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but today we're focusing on beauty related products that we used to buy and no longer do. Okay, first up is loose setting powder. I have just come to realize that I am a pressed powder girl. We both use the Kosas Cloud Set powder, and ever since discovering that, like, I've since purchased some loose powders and I just can't like go back there because it's so messy. You have to like put it in the cap, use your puff, and it just gets everywhere. Lots of times you like deposit too much product, so you're wasting product, and it's just not something I want to deal with anymore. I had this one as well. I feel the same exact way. I recently was going to buy like a loose mineralized eyeshadow, and then I said, what am I doing?
Yeah.
There's no way I would use that or like it. It's just such a messy format. It's unfortunate because sometimes loose powders are really beautiful, but the Kosas one is really like all we need.
Yeah.
Okay, next up for me is glitter eyeshadows, and no hate for anyone that loves a glitter shadow, but I feel like I've tried so many. I'm not talking, I have like a metallic one on today, one of the M Cosmetics, I can't remember what they're called, but it's really like a bright metallic, like very shiny, but it's not like a glitter. Like when there's actual like large glitter particles, like large mica.
I think kind of what you're talking about is like the Hourglass Scattered Light.
Yeah, like those types of things. I just feel like I've purchased so many in the past, like the Hourglass one, the Victoria Beckham one, which actually I couldn't even wear because it irritated my eyes so much. Even like in eyeshadow palettes, like I just don't reach for those. I never really love how they look on my eyes. I'm just so much more of like a matte girl, and if I'm going to do something a little bit different, I will put on like a sheer sort of shimmer. It's hard to describe.
Maybe you're talking more like Urban Decay's Face Cowboy.
Yeah, like the one that I still love and have is the Tom Ford eyeshadow duo, the Golden Peach one that has the cream. They discontinued these. Cream and then the glitter topper, and that glitter topper is so fine but like bright on the eye, and it's like multi-dimensional and so beautiful. It's kind of like a peach brown color, and it's pretty old, but I'll use that if I just really want like a glittery pretty eye. But yeah, even that Moira one I bought last year, I was like, what are this got everywhere?
Yeah,
like,
those are just too messy. I like glitter more than you, but
yeah,
I agree. I
over
like a more finely.
Yeah, I'm just over it. So I'm not gonna buy anymore unless you guys tell me that something is like incredible and worth my time. Okay, next up for me is eyeliner, and this one isn't like a huge shock to anyone. I never have done eyeliner on our channel. And usually if I wear eyeliner, like in the past couple years, I have started using it a little bit on the outer corner. Like I'll put a little bit and then use a brush to like smudge it out. And I use the Milani eyeliners. I have it in brown and green. And then I also have some from Beauty Pie that are good. And so I feel like I have like the eyeliners that I need, and I only use it once in a while here and there. Like I don't need to buy eyeliner. Sometimes I'm tempted. I see like a fun eyeliner color and I'm like, oh, that looks so good on her. But I know myself, I will never reach for that. I was gonna put this, but I wanted the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeliner for years now.
I didn't even know they made that.
Christina, how do you say her last name? She talked about how she has green eyes, and she's like, nothing makes my eyes pop like the Pillow Talk eyeliner. And I suspect it's good. And so I've like always added it to my cart during this Forest Hill and then deleted it because like Britta said, we don't wear eyeliner. But I would put that, but I can't because I will buy the eyeliner eventually. Okay, another one for me is disposable razors. So we both used to buy like the 5-pack of pink razors either from Amazon when they were good. They used to be good.
Yeah.
Then they stopped being good, of disposable razors, and then the Target brand ones. And they worked really well, but it was admittedly so wasteful.
Yeah.
And so Britta and I were like both on a journey to find a razor that actually worked, because what's up with razors? Like why? It's either like a handle problem, a razor blade problem. But we both bought the Athena razor from Target a few months ago.
When they did the Barbie collab, they're so cute.
Yes, although my button fell off.
Oh,
The shell, the aluminum shell on top of the button, the blue.
I think you can get it back on.
It came off. but it's in my shower still. I could try to fix it. Honestly, mine did kind of dull pretty fast, the razor blade, but it's still so much better for the environment and less wasteful to just keep buying the razor blades.
It dulled pretty fast for me as well, but it still didn't dull enough where it was like hurting or
yes,
like
yeah.
yeah, like just like kind of like the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me to stop my habit of buying disposable razors.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even put that, but I also don't buy them anymore. Deb also mentioned this one, but hydrating primer. I used to be someone who was interested in hydrating primers and would like dip my toes in them, and that's just so silly to me because all of my like skincare is hydrating, so you don't need like a special primer. If I'm going to prime my face, it's going to be something that makes my makeup last, like the Milk Hydro Grip, which I don't really use that one, or like the e.l.f. Poreless Liquid one that I love that helps to like smooth pores, like something that my skincare doesn't do. So I know for a while hydrating primers were huge. Like what's the one from Smashbox?
Or the Too Faced one.
Yeah, like
that
they
one
were
was
huge.
That was like
And
2016.
yeah, and so maybe everyone's kind of phased out of them, and it's not just a me thing, but I had to mention it because I'm uninterested.
Yeah, I didn't write this, but I was going to say primer in general for me because the last primer I bought was the e.l.f. one that Britta really loves, and I just find myself never applying primer. Like, I have large pores here. I could use a primer to help smooth that out, but I just get really lazy and I just go in after my skincare and put on foundation. And it takes a lot for me to like actually think about applying a primer, so I certainly will not be buying them. This is another like pure lazy thing, honestly, but Hairspray. I think I bought Hairspray like over a year ago, and I'll go through a phase where I'm like today I curled my hair, like I should put in Hairspray, but I just don't do it. Like it's just not something I really care about. Or like,
well, if your
think
hair
about.
lasts without it, then
Yeah, well, I felt like even when I would use Hairspray, it didn't make a difference. Like it didn't help enough that to me it was worth like the kind of like, not crunchy, because I never bought like high hold Hairspray, but it always kind of like added a scent that I didn't love, and it didn't help enough that it's worth it to me. And again, like the environment thing with aerosols and all that, like if it doesn't do much for me, like why would I keep buying it? So I do need something to hold my hair better because our hair is really fine.
I
So-
use Hairspray, but it's more of like a texture. It's
well,
like
and you said
loose
like
hold.
mousse makes a big difference.
A mousse really helps, yeah.
Yes, like maybe I'd look into that in the future too, but right now, no Hairspray.
Okay, next for me is under eye like hydrogel masks, and I will say like I'm not saying I'll never buy these again. Like if
You love those. I give all mine to Britta because I never use them.
I did love them, and for like a special event, I think I would buy like the Wander Beauty like baggage claim ones because those are the most efficacious, and they're made of like paper almost, foil. And I love them, but they're too expensive. But the reason I won't buy like the jars is because I feel like I never use them up in time, like before the period after opening. And so it is kind of wasteful because I'm like, oh, I think these went bad. The Incredible Beauty ones that I used to buy, I don't think they make anymore. That was like a smaller jar, so those I did use up. But anyway, all that to say, the main reason I don't think I'll buy them anymore is because since I've started gua shaing every day, I just don't think my under eyes get as puffy as they used to. And so I used to like really be excited to put on my under eye mask because I'd wake up and my face would be like a little bit more puffy.
She did this all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I always was like, wow, I don't know how you remember to do that.
Well,
Like,
it also just felt really good, so that's why I'm not saying never. Like, I think I would much rather prefer, which is more wasteful, like an individual pack when I know I'm gonna use it than like buy the jars of them.
or the Dew Skin ones that are replaced, like
Yeah,
you put
that's
on your
true.
own serum and then you put it under.
That's true. Can you keep those in the fridge so they're like cooling?
I assume you can.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into that. Because I do like them once in a while, but I used to use them a lot. Now that I gua sha more regularly, I don't feel like I need them as much. So I won't like seek them out.
Okay, Deb, who inspired this video, also had this one in hers, but eyeshadow palettes for me, the last eyeshadow palette I bought was the Anastasia Nuevo palette, and while I love a few shades in there, like I truly only use 2 or 3, and I think it's a beautiful palette. I think the formula is so pretty. I do think a lot of the shades are pretty, but again, it kind of goes back to like, not a laziness thing, but just like what I do, like how I do my makeup and how like, I don't know, I just apply makeup. I just don't really do like eyeshadow looks that much anymore. And if I do, I find eyeshadow palettes to be kind of honestly overwhelming for me, and I'd prefer a quad. And a quad is still a palette, don't get me wrong. But if I were to purchase one again, I think it would be a quad. Or I still have my eye on the Glossier monochromes.
Those are a quad.
There's 3, right?
Oh, you're right, there's 3.
So like I might still buy like really small palettes, but large eyeshadow palettes I just never reach for. I think I have a couple of the M Cosmetics palettes because they're not that big. They have 8 shades, 6 or 8. I'm blanking. They might have 6. And then I have like a Patrick Ta palette and then the Anastasia palette. So I don't have that many left anymore. I've gotten rid of so many because I just wasn't reaching for them. And it's just not something I reach for, and I much prefer single eyeshadows these days.
Yeah, I didn't put this on my list, but I'm begging brands to come out with 4 to 6 eyeshadow palettes.
Yeah,
like
we've been
4 to
saying
6
this for
shades
years.
Yeah.
For years. Like even when I bought the Nuevo palette, that was really rare for me. Like that was like 2 years ago
And
almost,
they did pair, if I'm not mistaken, they pared that down from 12 to 10.
Yeah.
So they did pare down how many shades, which I appreciate.
But I haven't been wearing like large eyeshadow palettes in such a long time.
Yeah, and I don't understand because it's more expensive for the brand to
Yeah.
have more shades, and the consumers aren't necessarily asking for it. Who's asking for 12 to 15
I think it's
shades?
to be competitive because brands see other brands doing it and they're like, oh, we have to stay relevant, like we need our own version. But I agree, I think smaller is much better.
Yeah, but I will say I've kept like all my Anastasia palettes, and like Carly said, it's not like I use all the shades, but they were like historically so good at shades.
They have really good shades.
And like formula that I keep them because I'm like, oh, I love this shade in this palette type of thing. So they did hook me because I keep them all. On that same vein, mine was blush palettes. I had purchased a couple blush palettes like back in the day. I had like a couple from Bare Minerals. We had that Patrick Ta one, and I just realized that I just don't like the idea of having to go get a whole palette for one blush. It's kind of like so silly to me. Similarly to how I keep the eyeshadow palettes for one shade, but that's more like if it's really special. And I just think it's really bulky, like they're hard to store. It's much easier to store an individual blush, so I will never, I'm just gonna say I'll never buy another blush palette again.
Okay, this is to no surprise, but normal nail polish for both of us, after we started using Dazzle Dry, which is like a system, but it doesn't include like LED lights or whatever those are. It literally is like a 4-part process. Like you wipe your nail down with their solution, you put on the base coat, then you put on 2 layers of your polish, then a layer of the top coat. It dries in like a minute or 2, and then your nails are good to go. And I don't have it on right now, of course. Yours are clear too.
Yeah.
Honestly, the last time I did it, it lasted me like 2 weeks. I had a little bit of chipping.
It's usually a week for me.
Yeah, but when we used to use normal nail polish, I kid you not, within like 2 days.
No,
there was,
2 hours.
Yeah, chipping everywhere. Nothing would stay on. I don't know if it's just our nails, but like it never worked for us. And so Dazzle Dry has like improved. That's like just changed our lives. Like that we can actually put on nail polish and not have to like redo it all the time. So we love Dazzle Dry, and I don't remember the last time I bought a normal nail polish.
Yeah, well, I will say if I do buy normal nail polish, it's Lights Lacquer because I want to support Kat, and she does such a good job with the shades. Cold Turkey by Lights Lacquer is my favorite toenail polish color because for some reason, normal nail polish is like fine on my toes.
Yeah, that's true. It's just our nails.
Yeah, it's just my nails. So I do have like a few Lights Lacquer shades that I have and use on my feet, but not on my hands. So that can like only be Dazzle Dry. But I wish we could find like a Cold Turkey and Dazzle Dry because I love that
really good color.
Okay, and then last for me is liquid blush. And I feel like liquid blushes are so popular, like Rare Beauty, and now e.l.f. came out with like their version of that. And maybe I'm on my own island on this one. I don't like liquid blush. I think it's so much messier than a cream. Like my favorite type of like, well, I like powder blush, I'll just say that, like that's my favorite. But if I had to use like a cream or a liquid, like a cream that's hot poured into like a compact and you can like get your brush in there is so much easier to me than having to like dab on a little bit of liquid and then blend it out. It can get, if it's really thin fluid formula, it can get so messy so quick. And the Rare Beauty, I did buy one of those when they first came out, and I never use it because I don't like that like way of applying blush.
Yeah, I have a Rare Beauty one that we were gifted, and it is pretty, but I don't love it. But I will say this Say liquid blush in
Oh, I did not like those.
Chili. I've been wearing that lately because it's kind of like this like berry. I feel like it's just really good for winter. It's like a pretty color, but yeah, you can use too much really quickly, and those aren't even nearly as pigmented as the Rare Beauty.
Exactly.
Like, Rare took a huge shot in the dark of like making those so pigmented, and seeing how everyone took to them is great, but it still blows my mind that they're so pigmented. Like, you have to be so careful.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I used to love Glossier Cloud Paint in Dusk.
Yeah, and I bought one of those, and like I was like, why do people like these? Like, applying it is so, it's such a process.
I know, yeah, I'm probably down with liquid blush too. Like I said, I do really like that Say one, but it took a while for me to like get used to it. Like, I was like, I don't like this, and then I started to like it.
Yeah, I am just a matte powder blush girl.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let us know what you're no longer buying down below.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear. We honestly probably forgot some things because we don't buy a lot of stuff. So I hope this video was interesting, and thank you to Deb for the inspiration.